Welcome. It's your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. We're going back old school style today, baby. We're going to go back to what we did for 2 years. We're going just us, me and you guys. No guests today, just us. The way I did it for 2 years. And we got a lot to talk about. So I want to thank everybody for yesterday's show. What an incredible show, bringing the real warriors, talking about giving back and talking about fishing and all the other things we talked about yesterday. And thanks Al and Justin and Mike Lewis for being on the show with us and showing all that great support for the real warriors. And it's going to be an incredible show up there in Ventura. I've talked to a lot of our members that are going. And listen, gang, if you show up to the show up there in Ventura, it's pretty cool. They're offering free admission for simply wearing one of my shirts. Just all you got to do is wear this shirt, gang. You show up wearing this shirt, your saltwater guide, you're going to get in for free to the West Coast Outdoors Sport Fishing Expo. And Mike Lewis and Robert Graber and lots of members will be there, manning the Your Saltwater Guide booth. We talk with Promar. They're going to be sending a box of swag up there, so your children will get free stuff if you bring them by our booth. And Mike Lewis and Robert will be more than happy to say hi to everybody and give your kids some free stuff if you swing by our booth. And then if you show up with our shirt on, you get in for free. And that's going to be a fun event. I hope you all can make it to that show in Ventura. And then remember what I told you all yesterday, because my good buddy Bill Varney tells me that there's really good surf fishing right out in front of the convention center, up and down the beach there. He gave us a handful of spots yesterday, and he'll be talking more about it next Wednesday. But Bill can't be with us today, gang. I know everybody always wants to know what Bill has to say, because he's just a plethora of information. But Bill's traveling today. He will be back with us next Wednesday, but today it's just us. Today it's just you and me, gang. So if you have any burning questions, Wednesdays normally we're set up to ask me questions. Then we brought in the great Bill Varney, and so you were able to ask Bill questions. I'm opening it up today to all of you. You guys can ask me any questions you'd like. I'll do the very best I can to answer them. We're going to talk more about what's going on, what to get ready for, and what you should be doing this time of year as far as fishing goes. And it looks like Sunday is going to be a spectacular day out on the water. And I was just talking to my sister Donna, and she's got a great deal going on the San Mateo out of Dana Wharf Sportfishing on Sunday. She's doing $199. 10 people going fishing out on the 14-mile bank. Go catch some of these big bocaccio. Go catch your 2 reds you're allowed to have. And the fish are biting out on the 14. And look, it's a phenomenal deal right now. There's the San Mateo boat right there, 20-knot boat. Beautiful delta. It's a beautiful delta. We talked about it last week. It's a couple of days ago, not even last week. It's an absolutely gorgeous boat. Brand new to the fleet. Used to be called the Mr. Magoo. Used to run out of Northern California. Now it's down here at Dana Wharf. My brother and sister purchased it and then redid it. Made it look really spectacular. It's got a humongous bait tank. Look, if you see all the guys standing around the bait tank there, the thing's ready to catch fish in Southern California. All you got to do is give my Dana Wharf Sport Fishing a call at 949-496-5794. $199 to go fish the 14-mile bank on Sunday on the San Mateo. And she just texted me, there's only 2 spots available. It's going to be sold out before the end of she's got another message. Okay. Yep. $199. She just wants to make sure. Just call the office. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to tell them Dana Wharf that normally it's $269. She's doing it for $199. It's 5 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. And she said it's a guaranteed go. Or excuse me, it needs 2 more to go. Not guaranteed. 2 more people to go. So she already sold 8 tickets. She sells 10. She's only taken 12 total. So get on that, 949-496-5794. I'm looking at the weather. Looks epic on Sunday. Friday and Saturday, not so much. But on Sunday, it's going to be flat calm. Beautiful. It's probably going to look like that picture that you see right there. As I look on this windy.com, and I'm looking at Friday, not so much. Saturday, a little breezy to start the day off. It starts to get nicer and nicer all day Saturday. And then Sunday is butter. So if you can make it with them on the San Mateo, 949-496-5794. Phenomenal deal. And there it is right there. Just give them a call or let them know you want to go. 949-496-5794. That's the San Mateo out of Dana Wharf. And we'll talk about it every week because she's going to do these specials through the month of May. That's pretty insane. But those are the things you can do when you own the landing and the boat. You can throw out some spectacular specials. And Donna, it always wants to take care of all of you. So get down there and go fishing on the beautiful San Mateo. We had the captain of the San Mateo on the show about 3 or 4 months ago, and he did a great job representing Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. I was super happy to have him on here. And Chase is his name, and he does a really good job on there. So go check it out, Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, 949-496-5794. And gang, it's Okuma Wednesday. We always talk about some cool Okuma products on Wednesday. I got a couple of cool videos I'll show you in a little bit. Daniel, yep, everybody's going to stop by and see you at the Real Quick booth there at the Ventura show. And you're going to swing by the booth and show Mike Lewis and Robert the great invention you've come up with, the Real Quick invention. You guys will love it. He'll be by the booth. Maybe he'll even leave one in there for Mike and Robert to show off to all of you guys. But it looks like it's going to be a fun event up there in Ventura. And next year, Kelly Girl and I will probably come up and stay in Ventura. I hear it's supposed to be beautiful up there. I've never really spent any time there, so I don't really know. I'm just going to take everyone's word for it. And then let's talk about the fishing. Gang, I think a lot of people are missing out on the spectacular fishing that's going on because everybody's so wound up about this bluefin. We have the owner operator of the Pacific Dawn going to join us on the show on Friday. And it's going to, Mike Laus is his name, and him and his wife Tiffany bought the boat with the help of Frank Lepresti, and they're doing those 2 and 3 day trips down there to fish for that bluefin. But like, it's kind of weird, gang, that this has kind of become the norm. This time of year, historically, the boats would be going down the line, going fishing off Collinette, catching beautiful rockfish, having a good time catching rock cod, and then maybe find some yellowtail. And then maybe after they get limits of everything, then they would swing off the beach and look around for bluefin. Well, everyone's lost that. Now everybody just wants a bluefin in April. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think we're missing out on phenomenal opportunities. I just read a report from a couple of the long range boats, 4 and 5 day trips coming back with 2 or 3 fish. I'm sorry. If I was your charter master, I would say, no, time out. Let's go rockfish fishing. Let's go get a bunch of rockfish on the boat. Let's catch limits of rockfish. Then let's look around for some yellows or have some halibut or something. Let's go look around that middle of Baja, upper end of the Baja Peninsula. Let's look around for some other type of fish. And then maybe after we're all done whaling on the fish, let's go bluefinning. But I can't imagine getting on a boat in April and going bluefinning when their bluefin are going to be thicker than snot here in a couple of months right out in front of Dana Point. It doesn't make sense to me. I think we're missing out. I know that you have to cater to the people that are going fishing with you, but I just think we need to educate the population, gang, that this is Southern California. And there's so much good stuff to fish. You guys have been watching this halibut fishing. If you're paying attention to my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, and you're paying attention to what our members are doing, and we've been bringing them on the show on Mondays and Tuesdays, they're knocking the crap out of these halibut, 20-pound, 30-pound, 40-pound halibut day in and day out at Catalina or out in front of Long Beach or down off of Dana Point, San Onofre area. That is spectacular fishing. To go out and focus on halibut, that is absolutely incredible. We never had that opportunity growing up. We caught a halibut when I was a kid on accident while you were fishing for other stuff. I'm so glad they took care of you, Matt. Gang, if you're a member of my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, and like Matt is, and you give me a call and tell me you're going to swing by the you want to swing by Promar, or you want to swing by Okuma, or you want to talk to Deckhand Sports, or you want to talk to any of these guys, you just call me up and let me know you want to go by their showroom and check it out. And Matt did that this morning. He called me. He said, hey, I'm thinking about swinging by Promar today. I called Promar to let him know he was coming. They gave him a tour of the showroom. He got hooked up with what he wanted. He got a gaff. He got a net. He got some stickers. He got some hats. He got some stuff. And it's all because of your Saltwater Guide and the cool people, the members like Matt that are members. Gang, there's so much more being a member of my website than just getting all the cool information on where to fish. It opens up a plethora of opportunity, mechanics, boat maintenance people, and then the tackle and the rods and reels and the Promar products and the Deckhand Sports products and Larry Hansen over at Pacific Sportfishing Alliance and going on beautiful trips and all the phenomenal things that go on just because you're a member of your Saltwater Guide. I don't know why you're not all members. I don't. I guess you just keep waiting for the price to go up. 7 years ago when I launched this and I told you it was $4.99 and you were like, I don't know, that's $4.99 a month. That's a lot of money. I got to ask my wife or my husband if it's okay. Then I went to $9.99 and you're like, I don't know. I don't know. I like figuring it out on my own. Well, now it's $29.99. Keep waiting. Just keep on waiting. Gang, it's crazy. I don't understand it. I'm trying to help you all out. You don't ever have to suck at fishing again unless you want to. Now, I know there's other websites out there. There's a website where you can go and follow everybody around and fish with a group of people with like 10 or 12 boats. That sounds fun, I guess. And he's very successful and it works for him and his people. Then there's another website where you can find out where the sport boats are fishing at. And you can get that kind of information. You can learn how to read, how to take apart water and learn how water works and how it moves and everything. And then there's our website where you can just get on your boat, go to exactly where we tell you to go and whale on the fish every time. When I was running sport boats and when I was running yachts for a living, I wish there was something like that for me, man, because to take all the information that has to be ciphered through to figure out where the fish are biting at and how to catch them and everything. We've already done all the work for you, gang. Most of our members don't have time to learn how to dissolve a chart and learn how to figure out if the water's clean, dirty, the fish going to be there or the fish not going to be there. That's what we do at yoursaltwaterguide.com so that you don't have to try to figure this out on your own. Or like that one gentleman got on here the other day and he was like ranting and raving, telling, oh, you're ruining fishing, Captain Dave. People should have to figure it out like I did. And I'm like, huh, really? Go figure it out on your own? I've been in this industry at the highest level you can be in it, in the fishing industry for a very long time, and we never figured anything out on our own. We always sat down together. If I was drinking, we sat at the bar and figured out where everyone was fishing. Or we called up on the payphone and called this landing and that landing and talked to that captain and this captain, and we all figured it out together. And then we went out and put together the best game plan we could put together, and we went out there and we executed and we caught fish. But there is, if someone out there is telling you, oh, I'll figure it out. Every time I go, I figure it out on my own. The guy's lying. Ari absolutely sucks at fishing. To try to figure this ocean out on your own. I don't know if you've ever been out there, but it's a giant lake with these little oases called spots where the fish live. I can't imagine wanting to figure it out on your own. First of all, no one does that. So when you see these little zit-faced booger-eating kids saying that they figure it out on their own, they're not really honestly telling you the truth, because they didn't figure it out on their own. They called one of their buddies before they left and found out where he was yesterday. So just so you understand, gang, Dave Hansen only tells truth. And a lot of people don't like that because, ooh, he told the truth. And I wanted to go out there and lie to everybody and make myself look really good. Gang, that's not how it works. That's not how this fishing thing works, gang. There's nobody else out there that's family owns a fleet of sport fishing boats that's going to sit down in front of you every day and tell you the honest to God truth about what's going on out on the ocean. There isn't anybody. There's no. I don't know what happened to my mic, but there's nobody that brings in experts from the community and lets you talk to them and ask them questions. It's pretty crazy, right? That's what we do every single day on this show. And for 2 years, I did exactly what we're doing right now. It was just you guys and me. And we sat here and we talked about all the different secrets that I shared with you. And I let you in on all the inside things that happen. And a lot of you go out on your private boat, and I know you look at the sport boats and you say, what is going on up in that? What is going on? Now you don't have to guess anymore. You got this show. And I bring all the guys in, all the real captain, all the guys that have been doing this for a living for a very long time understand the power of this show. They come on the show. You see them. They come on the show. They talk to all of you. They answer your questions. They see you out there walking around with my clothes on, my shirts and my hats, and they actually talk to you. I'm not all that in a bag of chips. I'm just been in this industry for a very, very, very long time. And I know the players and I know the people. And there was a time where no one wanted to touch me. I know that. When I made those videos back in 1987, 88, how to, where to, all the spots. I know a lot of you are going, 87, 88. Yeah, you weren't even born yet. That's what cracks me up when I hear these snot-nosed captains on these bar boats. Oh, they're Hansen. You weren't even born when we were doing this, you little snot-nosed brat. But all I'm trying to do is tell you that I've been trying to help you all for a very, very long time, and our information is absolutely as real as it could possibly be. Yeah, the only thing you ever figured out on your own is where they weren't. Good job, Scott. You don't ever have to try to figure it out on your own. And I see people going on Justin Botrell. What did you miss? You missed me telling everybody how bitching I am. But gang, you don't have to try to figure this thing out on your own. You don't. You got guys like Justin. You got guys like Al, Pablo, Sonny that are going to answer your calls. They're part of this bitchin' network, and they're going to answer your calls, and they're going to tell you what's going on. So don't try to figure it out on your own. And that's ridiculous. If you hear somebody telling you they're trying to figure it out on their own, they're not trying to figure it out on their own, gang. There we go. Thank you, Elliot. So we're throwing up some of the cool things that go on in the community. The community that we built is absolutely incredible. FishingBooker.com is now a partner with your saltwater guide. That's how powerful we are. Fishing Booker, Okuma, Promar, AFCO, Deckhand Sports, Okuma, Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance. All these different companies are involved because they know the power. Pablo, what a great human being Pablo is. Kind, gentle human. He's going to come with you on your boat, teach you all about fishing and catching these sharks and bonefish. He learned all this by fishing with Al back in the Back Bay. He's not allowed to take his boat back there in the back bay and show you because that's Al's world. We try to keep things sacred as we can. You want to learn how to fish the back bay, you go with Al. And then over at CCA California, yeah, thanks, Renee. Over at CCA California, we got Wayne Coda comes on the show. Chris comes on the show. Hopefully Tony will come on the show eventually. They know how powerful it is. They see all the views we get. They know that the industry is watching us and that is super important to be involved. There's my good buddy Matt that just swung by Promar and got himself a new gaff so he can gaff more of these big halibut he catches. Over on our website, gang, you can post videos, you can post pictures, you can do all that cool stuff that you can't do anywhere else. You can't do any of this cool stuff anywhere else. You can post your own stuff up there. And the really cool thing about this, 0.0 negativity. No negativity allowed on our website. No one's allowed to come on there and treat you the way that all these haters treat me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, which don't worry, it doesn't bother me. I love it. I laugh at them. I think they're fun. I play with them. If you guys go into the comment section and look at what I do, I actually play with the haters and they don't even know. They have no idea that I'm playing, and I get them to comment and comment and comment and comment and comment. All those comments help feed the kitty and the monkey, and they help us do all the cool things we get to do. So don't worry about the haters, gang. They're right where they need to be. But we're never gonna, like, look at this. A multitude of people telling me I don't know how to drive a boat. I don't know how to park a boat. I don't know how to shift the boat. I don't know how to do. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's so funny to see all these silly comments about all these people telling me I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I sure was able to fake it for a very, very long time. It's pretty amazing how I was able to fake it, right, Dave Burris? I faked it good too. I faked it very, very good. But there's just so much stuff. And there's
you know what this is? This is a horsehair brush. Okay, and it's got two sizes of teeth. You can see the difference. These are a little bigger than this side here. So if you have a fish that's got small scales on it, what you do is you take your fingers, pinch it in, kind of pull it out a little bit, and you just spin the blade around, and now you got the small teeth on the side that you're going to scale. Horsehair brush. You find them online.
Isn't that incredible? Tommy Gomes, superstar TV show. I call him up. He invites me over to his store all the time. We go in there. We make a bunch of great videos. Very entertaining. Everybody loves that. But gang, there's just so much to the website that you're missing out on. So if you're not a member, all you got to do is give me a call at 949-374-0786, and I'll get you signed up for free. Get you a brand new free look at the greatest fishing website ever made by a fisherman for fishermen. There's nothing out there like that. There's some guys that built some websites in their garage. They went fishing with their sister's brother's cousin once, and now they have a website. How cool is that? Or you can come on our website. Look at that. Look at the Instagram. It's 81,000 followers. Isn't that incredible? That's so, it just makes me mesmerized. I can't even believe that number. And it's going to go up again tomorrow. Look at that. Facebook, 285,000 followers. Isn't that incredible? I think it is. I'm just blown away on a daily basis by these numbers. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all just blowing up, just going bananas. It just blows my mind. And most of you that are watching right now, there's 50 people watching. You guys have been with me since the very beginning. So you've got to watch this climb also. We must be doing something right, Elliot, if we keep growing like this. And on the trip for my father to celebrate my dad on May 15th, Don Hansen Day, John Stanley, bring your own gear. Bring a rod. You only need one. Bring your favorite rod. We're just going to go rockfish fishing, and then if we get our limit to rockfish, we'll swing into the beach and try to catch a calico bass or something cool like that. Maybe a halibut, go drift a little bit. It's just going to be a nice mellow day, just hanging out with Justin Pablo. Maybe Elliot will make a guest celebrity appearance out on the boat. You don't know. He's so dang busy now. it might be hard to get him out there, but we're going to have a fun time out on the boat. But Donna wanted me to let you all know, those of you that didn't get in on time, and then there's Captain Mike Louse is going to join us from the Pacific Dawn on Friday, and he's going to be on the boat driving down to the Bluefin grounds, sitting in his wheelhouse talking to us. How cool is that? That's what you get at your saltwater guide. You get real captains doing it. It's going to be in his wheelhouse on his boat with his passengers going bluefin fishing. So you're going to get to see what really goes on in the wheelhouse, gang. That's what I'm talking about. That's the cool part of being part of the website. That's the cool part about watching our podcast every day. You don't know who we're going to bring in. But let's talk more about what's going on as far as fishing goes. Real quick, I just want to show you this Okuma video and show you a rod and reel combo that you must have on your boat if you're going to go fishing in Southern California. Look at this. This is Dave Hansen from Your Saltwater Guide. I specialize in taking people fishing on the West Coast, and I want to introduce you guys to one of the new awesome reels in the Okuma series of reels. This is the ABF-B series. The unique thing about the ABF-B series is that it has an alarm system built into the reel that allows you to free spool the reel without moving the bail. What you do is you just simply flick this lever down in the back. It allows, when the bait is being taken by the fish, you can hear the alarm go off. That alarm, you wait 3 seconds, simply turn the handle, it instantly puts the reel into gear, and then you wind in your calico bass. Now, when you go out fishing with me, we absolutely have to have these on the boat. And now I've matched the... And then we...
Hey guys, this is John Bretza, Director of Product Development for Okuma Fishing Tackle. What I have here is a new special rod series called Rockaway SP. Many of you guys are familiar with the Rockaway original rod series. This is completely different. SP stands for special purpose. These blanks are thinner in diameter, very crisp actions because they're constructed of a 24, 30-ton low resin mixture. So that's going to make it very light, very responsive. It's more similar to what you'd find in a bass rod, but these are 8 foot 6 inches in length, come in medium light and medium. So for application-wise, these are great for California surf perch fishing. Guys, light range rock fishing, you know, from the beach. Also salmon steelhead, minpachi out in Hawaii. There's a lot of versatility with this rod. One of the great things about this is we equipped it with some great components. We use Sea Guide deep press 316 stainless steel guide frames. So if this thing takes a dunking while you're surf fishing, you don't have to worry. 316 stainless is one of the most corrosion resistant grades of stainless steel that you can find. Also has a deep press design that's going to help really give a lot more durability to the zirconium insert, because you got a nice rolled edge that's going to protect that zirconium insert for you. One of the features that I really like on this rod is the hook keeper. So whether you're using a small treble hook, a single hook, a smaller, larger size hook gauge, you actually have a trapezoid hook keeper, which actually has 3 legs. So it gives you a lot more versatility. The other thing that I love is that this really custom looking reel seat looks very techy, matches a lightweight performance that you find in this rod. Very minimal grip design with the EVA rear grip. That's all you're gonna find for grips. And the best thing about this whole rod, it features a 1-year limited warranty, but it retails for just $99. You pick this rod up, first thing you're gonna think it's a $200 rod. So a tremendous value for those of you that like to get out there and fish for smaller species right there in the surf. If you want to find out more information on the Rockaway SP, check it out on okumafishingusa.com or go look at a local retailer near you.
And there you go, gang. There's the Okuma website. You can go check it out. Like John Bretta was saying, you can get all the information you need over there. It's a pretty self-explanatory website, but the products are incredible. And Bill Barney and I talk about it all the time. And yeah, Justin, that's a great story. We'll talk about that story on Monday. It's absolutely amazing. They took the reel apart, put it back together. There's nothing wrong with it. It is crazy, crazy, crazy how beautiful these reels work and how phenomenal the torque system is in the Makaira series. But we're talking mostly surf fishing stuff that we're talking about with the rod and reel that I just showed you. But that ABF series spinning reel works flawless out on the boat. We had a lot of them on the Wild and Sack when I ran that. And when I went over to the Mercedes, we had a bunch of them on that. We caught Dorado on them. We caught little yellowfin tuna. We caught white sea bass, calico bass on them. The reel stands up to most of the, and then this new rod series that John just showed you is a phenomenal rod to use when you're out there fishing with that ABF series. And then you guys can go check out the Rockaway travel rods, which I use a lot because I'm traveling up and down the coast, and you can just carry that thing right onto the airplane, carry it right off. We'll show you a little bit of that next week on the show, a little bit more of that. But hey, I wanted to talk to you guys more about the fishing and what's going on in Southern California. Once again, we got another little storm coming in this weekend. It's going to be beautiful by Sunday, like I talked about. The San Mateo's running those trips on Sunday for $199. We showed you that in the beginning of the show. You can call Dana Wharf Sportfishing and get on the trip on Sunday. But both Friday and Saturday are looking a little bit chippy, a little bit dicey out there on the water. We're going to have a little bit of wind on Friday, a little bit more wind on, wind on Saturday morning. And Friday all day. Saturday morning, the wind blows, and then there's a peak in the middle of the day where it blows a little bit harder. Then it starts backing off in the afternoon on Saturday, and that makes for a beautiful Sunday. Most of us on this show are private boaters. And what I try to always tell everybody is we don't have to go out when the wind is blowing. We're private boaters. We're not charter boats. We don't have to go when the wind is blowing. Why would you do that? If it's blowing 12 knots or more, that's a white cap. We don't like to go when it's white capping. If it's blowing out of the east or the south, a lot of you say south, but it's really out of the east, coming from San Diego up to LA. Fish never bite when it's blowing like that. We talked about that the other day with one of our guests. So there's really no need to go when it's like that either. So on Friday and Saturday, it's looking like that wind is going to be pretty strong in the channel at channel at Catalina. It looks like I'm looking right here right now, and it looks like off the east end of Catalina at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, it's going to be already blowing 14 knots. Friday, it's flat ripping. On Friday, it's blowing 22 knots by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On Friday, it's starting out 20 knots at noon. So you're not going to really want to be there Friday or Saturday. But then Sunday, it's like a lake out there. On Sunday, it's going to be gorgeous. You guys are going to have a ball out there. But everything we're talking about right now, this is what we talk about on our game plans on Thursdays. We have a game plan we put out on Thursdays. Justin does the Long Beach, LA area. He'll cover Catalina sometimes. Once he starts fishing that bluefin, he'll be covering that offshore thing too. Then up at the Channel Islands, we got Sunny talking about what's going on up there. And if you look on this map that Elliot's showing us right now, that Channel Islands is pretty much looking unfishable on the weekend, on Saturday and Friday. But then on Sunday, it backs off, and it's beautiful on Sunday. Unfortunately, that sea bass is biting at the area where it's really red, a lot of wind. And you'll know exactly where the sea bass is biting at. Every Thursday, we let you know everything that's going on out on the water, which is pretty spectacular. We don't let you go out there and try to figure it out on your own. We let you know exactly what's happening, where it's happening at, and it's pretty spectacular. And then if you start to pay attention and start to understand that this is Southern California, and we don't catch look, there's a perfect example of stuff that we catch in. Sheep's head, sand bass, calico bass. That's what you're supposed to catch in April in California. You're not supposed to have a 200-pound bluefin laying on your fillet table, and you can't be disappointed by that. That is a great day of fishing in Southern California. That is a great day in April, May, June. We don't really start rolling on to the tuna until July, August, September. Historically, I know we've been spoiled the last few years, but I don't want you to all get caught up in that, oh, there's no tuna, it's over. No, it's not. It hasn't even started yet. And besides that, we got great halibut fishing going on right now. And you all should be out there enjoying all these great things in between the weather. You should be out there on your boats enjoying all the great things that we have going on. It's so much fun. Like John Stanley always says, there's no off season. There you go, Tut. There you go, buddy. Tut and Larry both have their personal best halibut already this year. And the year's just starting after they had their best lobster fishing that they've ever had. Justin will tell you, Pablo will tell you, Sonny will tell you, Al will tell you, we've never seen lobster fishing, hoop netting like we saw this year. It was historically good, and guys took advantage of it. But look at all the halibut Elliot's showing you. If you could go out and focus on halibut and actually catch one, everybody, if you look in these pictures, there's a nice little bat ray that's caught by Al's grandson. He's a very happy young man. He gets to go fishing with grandpa all the time. But there's just so much fun stuff to do. Go catch some ghost shrimp and go catch some bonefish, leopard sharks. Just go out and enjoy yourself and lose the negativity. Forget about all the garbage that's going on in the world today. When your line hits that water, all those thoughts in your head of all the garbage going on, and there's plenty of garbage. We could all just sit here and suck our thumbs, and we can do a garbage show Monday through Friday for an hour, and we never run out of garbage to talk about. I don't want to ever be that guy. There's plenty of those people out there that have shows if you want to be just negatively filled with negative all day. But we're not there. We are talking. Look at how. See that ghost shrimping thing that Elliot's showing you guys right now? If you haven't done that yet, you need to go do it. It is pretty spectacular. I know Al wanted to get a bunch of ghost shrimp and get over to the spot and go fishing, but I had to tell him a couple times, hey, let's just hang out here and catch some more ghost shrimp. All these things are just so much fun if you can just slow your life down a little bit and start to get into all these cool things that happen that don't cost a whole bunch of money. And look at that. There's Rusty and me. That is a humongous, look at how he kind of put his face by mine. That is a humongous lizard. That thing weighed about 100 pounds. It was all I could do to hold on to him. And every time Rusty would bring his face near mine, his mouth was as big as my head. I was like, whoa. And Jay kept telling me, don't worry, Rusty won't bite you. And then he is just a monster. And he used to live in a church, and they used to just overfeed him all the time. So he's a big old heifer. But those are all the cool things we get to do. You can go up to Jay's and go check out the zoo in Huntington Beach. There's so much cool, positive stuff to do, gang. Look at that snake. She is a humongous 135-pound reticulating python. The thing is so beautiful. Rainbow python. The thing is just incredible. Justin explained to me how Jay was able to produce this animal. Jay explained it to me. I still don't get it. I don't know, but this is just one of the many fun things I get to do as your saltwater guide because of all of you. If it wasn't for all of you watching and listening to our shows, none of this would be able to happen. So thank you very, very much for everybody. But I want to talk about the fishing. I'm sorry, I keep getting off on these videos Elliot keeps throwing up. But there is so much fun fishing to do right now. The 14-mile bank's still open. You can go out there and catch rockfish like the San Mateo is going to do on Sunday. You can go halibut fishing. You can go start to learn how to fish the kelp beds. You can go start to learn how to anchor up on the edges of the kelp and fly line your baits into the edges of the kelp and start to learn how to cast into the kelp and get your bait in and out of the kelp, because it's going to be a month or so. That water is going to get up to 65, 66. Those calico bass are going to go into their spawning mode. When their little boys, their cheeks are all gold, and the little girls, their bellies are all white, that's their spawning mode. And you'll see the calicos are going to look different than you normally see them. When the calico comes up and their cheeks are really orange, those are the little boys, and they're all ready to spawn. And that's their spawning colors. And the little girls, their bellies get super white. Even if they're living in the kelp, that just means that it's time to make more calico bass. And that's a great time to fish. But you don't want to go out there to the kelp and practice learning how to cast into the kelp or learning how to do all that stuff by when they're biting. You want to learn how to do all that stuff before they start biting. You want to learn how to do all that stuff so that when it does start to happen, you're ready for it. You are fired up with everybody else and you are ready to take advantage of this bite. And then if one of our members told me the other day, Dave, you said something a couple years ago, I'll never forget. And I forgot. But he said, if you can learn to you can consistently catch legal calico bass in the kelp, then you can catch anything that swims. And I had forgotten that I had said that, but that's totally true. I hear so many people go, oh, I can catch calico bass. Really, you can catch calico bass, 14-inch calico bass every time you park at the edge of the kelp. Oh, no, I catch those 8-inch, 10-inch. Yeah, I understand that. Go out there and catch legal calico bass day in and day out in the kelp, and then you'll be ready to go tackle bluefin, yellowfin, dorado, all that other stuff, because it's all about bait placement when you cast. And now is the time to learn how to do all those cool things. You don't want to go out there and practice fishing when the fish are biting. When the fish are biting, that's when it's time to go catch. And then the new thing we added to the website, a lot of you are new, you don't understand. We got Ryland's Corner. We got young Mr. Ryland Botrell teaching children how to fish, because we all know kids aren't going to listen to us. We're just dumb old adults. We don't know anything. But you know what? They will listen to Ryland when they see Ryland doing it, when they see Ryland fishing, when they see Ryland getting the backlash out, when they see Ryland making the cast, when they see Ryland cleaning the lobster, when they see Ryland leaning underneath the dock and pulling mussels off and then smashing them and putting them on his hook and catching a fish. Devo, you remember, you, me, Dave Burris, we all did that. We all dug underneath the docks on Dana Wharf and got those mussels and smashed them and then went fishing. That's how we grew up. But to teach kids today, you or me or Dave Burris or Justin going down on the dock and showing kids out, they won't even listen to us. But if they can see Ryland doing it, there's Ryland showing them how to let a calico bass eat your bait, letting them run. And he's telling them the whole time, he's talking, he's teaching them, and then bam, set the hook, and he's got a nice calico bass. If we could just learn how to put his left hand in front of the reel, it'd be really good. There he goes. Check that out. See? He's listening to Captain Dave. But all these things are things you need to do now. You don't need to do it when the fish are biting. The thing that sucks the most as a fisherman is to get on a boat and go out fishing when the fish are biting and you can't catch them because you didn't practice how to fish before you went. Michael Jordan wasn't the greatest basketball player because he didn't practice. He practiced every single day. He practiced. Dave Burris, Devin Cruz, Justin Botrell. We all practiced casting 1,000,000 times and got 1,000,000 backlashes and cried and picked them out and cried. We just didn't pick up the rod and cast 50 yards. It took years to learn how to do that. That's what you should all be doing right now. You should not be going. You should be going on your boat. Go catch some rockfish. Get some fish in the box so you can take them home and eat them. Then go park on the edge of the kelp and learn how to cast. Learn how to anchor. Learn how to anchor up on the edge of the kelp so you can cast back to the edge of the kelp. Learn how to do all that so when you go to Catalina, you'll know how to we did a lot of bad things. We did a lot of really naughty things, Devin. I don't want to lose half my audience, but yeah, we were bad little kids, but we learned by doing stupid stuff. And that's Ryland's going to teach you how to do it without having to do the stupid stuff. When is the next open party boat? I don't know, Rick. We're going to have to plan another trip. We're going to get through this trip on Don Hansen Day on May 15th. I also wanted to let everybody know on May 15th, my sister has the 3/4 day and the half day going. They got the 3/4 day and the half day going on May 15th, half price. So if you can go on the half day, you can go for half price. And if you can go on the 3/4 day, you can go for half price. Don Hansen Day out of Dana Wharf Sportfishing. And then also on May 15th, you're going to go fishing again. Donna's going to be selling tickets for 40% off for any day. But only on May 15th will you be able to buy them. And there were people that took advantage of that. I think there was a limit to how many you could get. So they were taking their families in, and everybody was buying whatever the limit was on the 40% off tickets. You should take advantage of this. It's going to be insane. And you can go 40% off anytime. And going on Don Hansen Day, it's 50% off, 3/4 day or half day. And that is May 15th. And then, Rick, we're going to have to set up a trip. And we know anybody that's good in the industry. We'll go with somebody else on their boat. Like we're going with Calvin on his boat. We'll go with some of the other captains up or down the coast. We'll start doing some of your saltwater guide trips. It's just, when I do a trip, I don't like to bring alcohol on the boat. It's just not my deal. I can't stand alcohol on the boat. So understand that. I don't want to listen to a bunch of drunks tell me about a fish they caught. So when you go on our charters, there's no alcohol allowed. Sorry. If you wanted to go drinking, you might want to charter a bar. That's what I used to tell all my clients. Guys should have chartered a bar. It would have been way more fun. But check out our website. But if you can't do it, if you can't call me, if you're scared to call me at 949-374-0786, I give you guys great tips daily on my show here. We do this show Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we try to keep you guys all locked in on what's happening. We try to keep you all on the show. Justin and Pablo and Sonny and Al come on the show and tell you what's going on and what they're seeing out there on the water every day. So even if you're not a member, and I understand it's scary to call a guy like me, stranger danger, to get a free look at a phenomenal website, you just keep watching the show. I'll keep giving out tidbits of great information that'll help you out tremendously. And the one I want to give you guys right now is practice. Practice, practice, casting, practice, casting, practice, casting. If you're sitting in your house right now, nothing to do, grab your rod, go out in the backyard or go out in the front yard, go out on the side yard. If you don't have any of those, jump in your car and go drive somewhere to the dirt lot or go to a football field or go to a baseball field or a soccer field or something and practice casting. If you can learn how to cast, you are going to be that much higher up the food chain than the rest of the guys on the boat. Like Bill Batson said the other day, 90% of the fish are caught by 10% of the fishermen, or even less than that. Those are the guys and gals that know how to cast. Casting is probably one of the very most important aspects of fishing. You've got to learn how to cast. And you got to learn how to cast. First, you learn how to cast without getting a backlash. Then you start to learn accuracy of casting. You want to make sure that you can throw your anchovy or your sardine and hit that corner of that kelp, or that stringer of that kelp, or the corner of that boiler rock over. And I don't care if there's even fish there. Go anchor up and part and practice. But first, practice in your backyard, or practice, like I said, on a field or somewhere. Take your rod and get down there and practice and pick out the backlash and get pissed off at yourself and go and do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again. Now, 1 or 2 ounces, anybody can cast that, Brian. You want to learn how to cast a clothespin. I don't know if you know what a clothespin is, but you want to learn how to cast something light. A 2-ounce weight, anybody can do that. And I don't care, gang, if you're not a private boater or you are a private boater, it has nothing to do with what I'm teaching. My website has nothing to do with you being a private boater or going out on a sport boat. It has to do with learning the fundamentals of fishing. That's what we teach on the website. There's plenty of videos on the website about your own private boat and how to use your own private boat, but there's way more videos of how to fish. And you'll see when you go on a sport boat, 1 or 2 guys are bid all the time, and the rest of the people are standing around trying to figure it out. They're the guys that can cast better than anybody on the boat. Casting is crucial to learn. It's hard to learn. It's like probably one of the most hardest things to learn. That's why most people always revert back to the spinning rod and reel, because they can't master the conventional rod and reel casting. But it's not like the old days. It's not like when we used to call the spinning reel a coffee grinder. I want you guys to get those spinning reels like I showed on the beginning of the show from Okuma, the ABF series, so that you can cast. I don't want to see you out there on the boat, sucking your thumb, catching nothing because you didn't want to use a spinning rod because your friend's sister's brother's cousin's aunt told you that that's not the right way. It is absolutely the right way if it's going to make it so you can catch a fish. I want you to fish and catch fish more than you do, way more than you do. I care about you so much. You don't understand how much I want you to catch fish. Because if you catch fish, listen, if you're able to catch fish, you're going to go tell somebody else you caught a fish and how bitching it was, and how they're going to see your enthusiasm. They're going to see your smile. Then they're going to tell a friend, and they're going to go fishing, and they're going to go fishing, and they're going to go fishing. And then maybe we can save fishing. Because remember, at the end of the day, I'm trying to save fishing because they are on a mission to stop us from fishing in California. Like we had Wayne on the show a month ago, right when Rockfish opened, and he tried to explain to you guys. Franklin Presti's been on a couple times trying to explain to everybody. They want to shut down fishing in California, like really bad. That's why I want you to catch fish more than you want to catch them. I want you to be successful more than you want to be successful. And if some of those guys running sport boats understood this and cared a little bit more about you and cared a little bit more about making sure that you had a successful trip, it would be a much better place. There are phenomenal captains in the sport fishing industry, but there are real bad captains too, just like in everything. I try to make sure to only send you guys out with the best. So if you haven't heard a boat's name on our show and you haven't seen that captain on our show, then you may want to give me a call before you go, and I'll let you know. But then again, some people like to be treated crappy. So maybe you like going out with people that treat you bad. So who am I to tell you? I'm only going to tell you the people that I like because they treat the people nice. And that's super important in this industry today is service, service, service. And you're going to get nothing but great service from me and my guides over here at Your Saltwater Guide. I mean, having Sonny on board, breaking down that Channel Islands thing, that is a huge part of this puzzle that we weren't privy to until Sonny came on board and started helping us. Justin and Pablo, myself and Al, helping us learn what's going on up at the Channel Islands. And he's willing to help all of you. And there's plenty of you that are watching right now that have called it Sonny, and you've talked to him, and you know the guy just shares and shares and shares. It's phenomenal. But do yourself a favor from today until you go fishing. Practice casting. Practice casting your spinning rod. Practice casting your conventional rod. Learn how to place the bait in the exact spot you want it to go to every time. And a lot of that is going to be follow through, like in a golf shot. When I see people go back to cast and they're looking at the water the whole time. They don't look behind them. And then they hook somebody when they go, that water will always be in front of you. Turn around and watch behind you when you cast. Especially, well, if you're on your boat by yourself, you don't have to. But if there's one other person on the boat, you better watch behind you when you cast. Because that person is moving around. And you're going to hook them if you're not watching. I've seen so many people get hooked on sport boats over my career that it's the number one thing you hear all sport boats captains say. Watch behind you when you cast. Watch behind you when you cast. Watch behind you when you cast. Because everything's moving around behind you. But that's why it's important to learn so that you don't have to look out in front of you to where you're going to throw. If you learn how to cast, you can watch behind you and be looking that way and cast and hit the same exact spot every time without even looking. Because when you're done with your cast, the tip of your rod should be pointing where you want your bait to go. And you always follow through with the cast with the tip of the rod pointed at the water. I see so many people end their cast with their tip sticking straight up in the air. You just cost yourself 10 or 12 feet distance in your cast because you ended with it like this. And it goes, bam, straight down. Finish your cast with the rod pointed at the water. It'll change how much distance you get. It'll change how accurate you are. Remember, wherever your tip of your rod is pointed when you're done with your cast, that's which way that lure or that bait is going. And most people don't understand that. They just stand there and just whoosh, and that doesn't go anywhere and they're blown away. Practice casting. Do yourself a favor. It'll help you out so much. It'll make you such a better fisherman, better fishing person if you learn how to cast accurately. Learn how to cast first so that you don't get a backlash, or learn how to cast with your spinning rod so that you let go of the line at the exact time where you're going to get the most distance. Once you get that distance thing figured out, then it's time for the accuracy thing. And if you can do that, then you're ready to go out there and catch that tuna or that dorado under the kelp patty. If you can be the guy that hits that corner of that kelp patty every time, you're going to catch that yellowtail or that dorado first every time. If you can be the guy that can accurately, if a whole bunch of bluefin come up 30 yards off the side of the boat and nobody can cast 30 yards except you because you practiced and you can cast to where those boils are happening at, you got yourself a tuna. Same thing on the yellowfin, same thing on a marlin, same thing on a wahoo. You got to get your bait to the fish. It's super incredibly important. And most people do not take the time to practice casting. And I'm not trying to pull your covers down or anybody. I'm not going to mention any names, but you cannot comprehend how many boats I've been on with people that tell me before we leave how good at casters they are. And then we get out there and they can't cast 5 feet. And it's like, oh, their rod or their reel or there's something. Okay, I could pick up anybody's rod because that's what I had to do for 30 years as your saltwater guide. I didn't have a bunch of rods. I used your rods. I used whatever you had on the boat. You don't have to have the best fishing pole in the world to be able to cast. You got to learn how to cast to be able to cast. And it's super important. I used to take Kelly down to the canyon behind her house, and we'd stand there on this little bridge, and she would practice there where no one could see her because she didn't want anybody to see her trying to learn how to cast. And then she learned how to cast. And then it helps. Very, very much it helps. It helps tremendously because then when another boat or another person is on the boat with you and you can throw your bait to that spot, the confidence level is just phenomenal. Casting is super important, gang. I can't emphasize it enough. Learn how to cast. And if you don't want to join my website, join somebody's website and get yourself a plethora of information so you're ready for this season. It's going to be an incredible season. It's going to be one of those years they talk about for a very long time. As we're watching the table be set, as we're watching everything move into the areas where it's supposed to be below the border and on down the coast. And down here in Cabo, the water's 75, 76. It's kind of been in the mid to low 70s all winter long, which we don't see that down here. We didn't see that 65-degree water in Cabo. All that stuff's moving its way up the Baja Peninsula, coming into Southern California. So it's going to be an incredible season. Let's try to all get ready. Let's try to get ready by learning how to cast. That's your homework for this week and this weekend. Go out on your boat. Go down to the dock. Jeanette, you, Dave, you guys practice casting. You don't even have to put on a hook. They can't tell you I know at your dock, they tell you can't fish. Okay. So don't put a hook on. And when they come up and you say, I'm not fishing, I'm practicing casting. All of you that have a boat in the harbor, that's what you should do. When we were children, working for my dad down in Dana Point, Devo and Dave Burris and I, and anybody else that's on here that was with us back in those days that's watching, we would stand on the bow of the Sunfun or the Clemente or the Seahorse, and we would all practice casting to try to hit the bait barge. And we would do it day in and day out, and our friends would make fun of us, and we'd get big backlashes, and we'd have to pick them out. And then the worst thing in the world is to get a big backlash, get it out, wind your line on, and then go back to cast and get a big backlash instantly right away again. But we did it. Why? Because we wanted to fish like our heroes, the captains. We wanted to be able to cast. And it matters so much because you can go on the boat and you cannot catch, and you can see the guys that are catching and the guys that can cast. And I'm sorry, I repeat myself a lot, but that's because I've been in the education part of this fishing thing for so long. And I think repeating and repeating, I learned a long time ago, you hear it 3 times, then it starts to resonate in your brain. You hear it once or twice, it doesn't. 3rd time, it starts to resonate. You hear it over and over again. And there you go, Tim Ogilvy. Repetition and practice. Super important. So if you got downtime, get out there in the yard and practice, practice, practice. Tomorrow's going to be a phenomenal day. We got the great Kelly girl joining us tomorrow. I'm excited about it. Kelly girl's always bringing in some good energy, and she's always happy to be around her husband. She always loves seeing all of you guys. Get your questions ready. Get some cool questions ready for Kelly girl. She'll be with us tomorrow. Yeah, Devo, those were some fun times. We don't want to get banned, though. So Kelly girl will be with us tomorrow. Mike Louse will be with us live from the wheelhouse of the Pacific Dawn on, oh my God, that's going to be so fun to listen to Louse talk. And if you guys don't know who Mike is, he's a funny, funny guy. He's been fishing his whole life. He started his career at Dana Wharf Sportfishing. He's a really good human. Gang, show my sister that we got power over here at your Saltwater Guide. Anybody that wants to go have fun and go fishing, great discount, $199 on Sunday to go on the San Mateo, that beautiful Delta. You're going to go out with 10 or 12. She said she's only going to take 12 people. 949-496-5794. You can go on that beautiful San Mateo Delta right there. Go catch some of those beautiful rockfish like these guys did. 949-496-5794. 949-496-5794 is Dana Wharf Sport Fishing's phone number. 949-496-5794. That's how you're going to get Dana Wharf Sport Fishing on the phone. That's how you're going to get on this phenomenal trip on the San Mateo. Let them know you heard it on your Saltwater Guide. Let's get the boat. She's got 4 spots when we started the show. 4 spots available. Let's get it sold out before the end of the day. Call her up. Get on the boat. Sunday, the weather's going to be beautiful. Elliot showed it to you. It's going to be a great day Sunday. Friday and Saturday, do yourself and your family and your friends a favor and don't go fishing on Friday or Saturday. It's not going to be fun out on the water. But by Saturday afternoon, things are going to have calmed down dramatically, and Sunday's going to be epic. So get out there, practice, practice, practice. I'll see you all tomorrow. Turn off the news. They're all lying. This is the only place you get the truth. Hopefully, any of you that had any questions, I answered them for you. And I don't even know if I did or if I didn't, if we had a good show or if we didn't. If we didn't have a good show, my name's Mike. If we did have a good show, my name's Dave.